Dodgers won a baseball game.
Kevin hasn't been with us for a long time. But since the last time that Kevin was with us, the Dodgers have won, I don't know, 9 games. I don't remember.
Have you been on in the regular season, Kevin?
Wow.
You decided to be moving. You decided
moving. I had a wedding to go to last week. So sorry if I'm a little echoey. I haven't filled this room in yet, so it sounds like I'm in a tin can. And then I had a bout of food poisoning right after the wedding. So not due to the wedding food, though. The wedding food was
bet. Never trust a wedding. Bet.
They say marriage is the number one cause of food poisoning.
Yep. These are facts. These are facts.
Anyway, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Absolutely an ace. We're not going to have that discussion. But you know what? Every time he goes out there, he says, hey, I think this is what an ace would do, isn't it? He went 6 innings again, 6+. Started to run out of gas in the 6th inning. They sent him back out for the 7th, knowing that he probably wouldn't get through the whole 7th inning. They probably hoped for more than 2 batters and 0 outs from him. But then Alex Vesia came in and saved his bacon, which was fun. We'll talk more about Vesia in a minute. But the final line for Yamamoto, 6 innings pitched, 1 run allowed, which is a little bit better than his first 2 games, which were both 6 innings and 2 earned runs. So his ERA drops down below 3 for the season with this outing.
2.5 now. Yeah.
And it could have, it looked like it was probably going to be another exactly the same 6 innings, 2 earned runs, because when you leave the game with runners on first and third, nobody out, you kind of, Oral Hershiser even said it on the broadcast, you just kind of expect, okay, one of these runs is going to score. Don't worry about the guy on third. We're up 3-1. Get outs any way you can. And then you get that first out, which is the lazy fly out to left field. And then you start thinking, okay, maybe we got a chance to get out of this. And then you get the strikeout. And you're like, okay, we definitely got a chance to get out of this. But Yamamoto, like just the first 5 innings, dominant, Clint.
Yeah, I mean, looks like he maybe ran out of gas a little bit, even though, he's pitching on what is his regular rest. Still, if that's him running out of gas, you take it. He leaves, like you mentioned, runners on the corners, nobody out. One out, nobody out. And then you have Vesia come in, walk the bases loaded, and you're like, definitely going to give up at the bare minimum 1 here. It's fun. Alex Vesia, his certified dog, is what I said on DT just a couple minutes ago. I also said over the weekend, like there's something I feel something different about this team. I remember feeling like a synergy, a kinship with this team. Like it's a really fun team, and I think you're seeing the continuation of a group of dudes that are really trying to pick each other up. Everybody in that clubhouse is trying to pick each other up, including what we saw out of Vesia today in relief of Yamamoto. Yama being, leaning on every single pitch, every grunt, every, tweak from Alex Vesia. It's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Did I get the right one up there? Yeah. Kevin, this comment from RJM. Yamamoto looks like he could throw a no-hitter every game. And that's kind of the stuff he has. It's just anytime he allows even a base runner, it's almost a surprise. Like, oh, what happened there?
Yeah, it's maybe not so much the first 2 outings. He had a little bit of command issues, but even then, he still limited damage. But then you get game. Did somebody else die?
All right, here we go. You guys froze. I don't know who it was.
I think it was you.
I think it was.
Maybe it's me.
Definitely Jeff.
Definitely Jeff.
Yeah.
But yeah, for games like today, which I think are more the norm for Yamamoto, he just does look untouchable. His stuff isn't necessarily overpowering. It's all above average, which is incredible when you have 6 above average pitches, but he doesn't have like a Paul Skeens like splinker or something like that. You know what I mean? But when he has that plus his like elite command, yeah, he just looks untouchable. And he's really fun to watch because, Oral was talking about it earlier in the game about how repeatable his mechanics are. So when his mechanics are in sync, which they generally are, like everything looks good. And it just looks like he shouldn't tire out he did it look like a little bit today, early in the season. We get it. But it was it's must watch baseball for anybody who loves pitching, because it really doesn't get mechanically, from like a game theory standpoint, it really doesn't get much better than Yamamoto.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to jump into the chat a little bit. And there's a lot to say. Try to figure out which one I want to go to first. Let's go to this one, because when Alex Vesia came in, we talked about Vesia, and he got the 2 outs, and then you start dreaming of getting out of the inning with no runs allowed. But then it's George Springer coming up, top of the order. George Springer, Alex Vesia is a lefty. You have Blake Treinen warming up in the bullpen. And Alex Renteria in the chat says, seeing Treinen come in with only a 2-run lead made me nervous, but glad he did good. Imagine if he had come in to face George Springer with a 2-run lead and the bases loaded, because that Blake Treinen's big issue is I don't always know where the baseball is going. And it was easy to picture Treinen coming in and walking Springer and, struggling. And so I love that Dave Roberts just sat on his hands, and it was clear that Treinen was warming up in case Vesia blew it, in case Vesia gave up the lead. Well, then, okay, if Vesia's already given up a run or two, then we might as well go to the righty Treinen to face Springer. But once they got the 2 outs, then Roberts just said, hey, Alex Vesia, you're my dog. You're going to do it. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. There is not a single person in baseball who enjoys getting hitters out more than Alex Vesia. And it would have been a crime against humanity to deprive us from the Alex Vesia scream after the 3rd out. I could feel the anticipation building, Clint. I'm like, I need this 3rd out because I want to see Vesia scream.
Yeah, it is really fun watching him lose his crap, as it were. But yeah, like you said it, you nailed it there, Dave. Giving him the opportunity, giving him, making sure he doesn't take that opportunity away from him. And Alana on DT brought up a good point that I didn't really think about because I've been busy with a bunch of other things today. But also his first game, pitching against Toronto, didn't get a chance to in October because of reasons and all of that. I'm sure that moment meant a lot to him to escape the damage there. So just really cool for him. And I've been trying to find a way to lead to Yang Yi's comment, saying my bullpen trust tree is Diaz, Vesia, Tanner, Klein, and Treinen. After that, it's Ben Kasparius, Jack Dreyer, Ed Gargo, if you're saying it right. Dreyer might even be a little bit up on that one. But yeah, Treinen kind of working his way up the trust tree as well so far with the clean start.
Who's the missing reliever here? Oh, I guess it's Robleski, who's not really a reliever. Okay, because that's 8 guys. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. I know, Kevin, what do you think of that trust tree?
I'd have Dreyer up a little bit. I'm still not sold on Treinen. He had a good outing today, but he did leave some pitches. Like he left a sweeper like straight down the middle and just didn't get punished. His elevation, his velocity was up though, which is good for Treinen. When he was struggling last year, he was sitting in like the 95s, 94s. We did see him throw a sinker around 97. So that's a good sign for Treinen. I'm really hoping that, he's had an abbreviated 2 years, that this 3rd one, he can kind of be more like the Blake Treinen we're used to, but it's going to take a little longer than the first, couple outings for me, because for him, it's all about location. And if he can keep his stuff from breaking, because if he can't, he's just going to get knocked around.
Yeah. Yeah. And for me, like I've always said, my issue with Treinen is with that good of stuff, you should be getting more strikeouts, because weak contact sometimes turns into hits. And that's the other reason I would have been nervous with Treinen coming in with bases loaded, because you make a good pitch and get a bloop single,
yeah.
Whereas,
we've seen it with him.
Yeah. You want, obviously with 2 outs, you'll take any out you can get. And they were happy to get the pop-up from Springer with Vesia pitching. But, I'd like to see more strikeout stuff from Treinen. He was the only Dodgers pitcher today who didn't strike out a batter. We've talked about the other 3 pitchers. Might as well mention Edwin Diaz real quick. Came in, got the save, his 4th save of the season. What's that?
It's a ho-hum.
Yeah.
First and third. Oh, let's ho-hum.
He did walk a guy and give up a hit. So the tying run was at the plate. We pretty quickly appreciated the insurance run that the Dodgers got in the top of the 9th inning, so that the go-ahead run never got to the plate in this game. But Diaz ultimately got a strikeout, including one strikeout on an instant replay, which brings me to this $10 super chat from our buddy Pat Dwyer. He says, watching Diaz accidentally hit the zone would have been just as exciting without the challenge system. In fact, without the challenge system, we'd have a lot more moments like that. Just saying. And I believe what Pat is saying is with the full ABS instead of making people challenge, because with the full ABS, it wouldn't have taken as long. The umpire could have just said, instead of saying, ball is overturned, Los Angeles retains their challenge. It's not quite as impactful as,
Do you think they'll still do that? They still got to have their ring ups, right? Even with the ABS, you still got to have it.
Yeah. You got to make it a show.
John Tumpain, his stabbing. Yeah.
That's a good one. They call him the Grim Reaper.
When I went to a game when I was in college, a BYU baseball game, and this home plate umpire, his strike call, he would, it was a two-parter. He'd go, hey! And then he would slowly turn and point. And go, ha! And literally like 3 seconds. Ha! Ha! So that's how I call strikes.
And that guy went on to call balls and strikes for the Savannah Bananas.
He might have. You never know. Let's do one more super chat, and then we're gonna listen to Past Clint for a minute, and then we'll get back into the rest of this game. This one comes from Smurfy24 Dewey. Do you remember who that is? I feel like we know who that is.
Now I'm going to mess up the name because I had the Francisco Diaz.
Francisco
Fernando
Diaz, Edwin's cousin, right?
Edwin's. There you go.
$4.99 super chat.
It's been a long day.
Evening, fellas and fellow Dodger fans. Nothing better than to watch the Dodgers dominate our neighbors to the north while building a new barbecue grill. Hashtag Let's Go Dodgers.
We are here for building new barbecues.
Hey, what up, guys? It's Noah, as you know. And I got to say, guys, what separates this team from the past is how the bottom of our lineup is performing and have excelled at a ceiling that we could not have foreseen a few years ago. So that is my evaluation of this team. We're probably the best Dodgers team we've had, and it's the bond that makes it better. Anyways, that's all I got to say, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you, Noah.
Appreciate Noah calling in. Do we want to talk for a second about the bottom of the lineup, perhaps with Kevin?
Yeah. Hey, look, Kevin's here.
Kevin's back.
Yeah,
bottom of the lineup has been getting it done pretty damn consistently, and we haven't talked yet, and I'm sure we will at some point. But Alex Freeland with a 3-hit game, Hyeseong Kim has looked pretty solid since coming back up in place of Mookie. Waiting on Muncy maybe to get going a little bit, but so far, they're doing some damage at the bottom of the lineup.
Yeah, tonight it was reminding me a little bit of whatever year that was that Gavin Lux was batting ninth and had a really good year until the neck injury at the end of the year. 2022. And the Dodgers had the best bottom of the order, which was great because then it was setting up whoever it was, Mookie, Trey, and Freddie at the top of the lineup. They had that going on. And today, the big difference was that Kyle Tucker wasn't really able to contribute until the ninth inning. He did get that big insurance run, but Tucker had himself a rough night before that with opportunities to do a little bit more damage. It's those little things that, but that's one of the nice things about this lineup, Kevin, is that you can survive a bad Kyle Tucker game and still win the game because there's so many other pieces of this lineup.
Yeah, I was looking over to my right. I don't know if the screen left. Looking at, because I had pulled up the bottom. So the stats for the 7, 8, and 9 hitters through the first 11 games last year and this year, and they're wildly different. They even mentioned on the broadcast that the Dodgers were like leaps and bounds ahead of everybody. Just for reference, this year they're at a 180 WRC plus. The next closest are the Royals at a 143 WRC plus. They have a 160 point OPS lead over the Royals in that category. So they're just getting it done. at the bottom of the lineup. For his last year, it was a 59 WRC plus, which was 22nd in the league with a 559 OPS. And I was looking, the reason I was looking so far to the right is I wanted to know, okay, who was batting 7, 8, and 9 last year? What was the difference? One, it was Kike Hernandez, was playing a lot. Austin Barnes is sprinkled in there. Chris Taylor is sprinkled in there. But the one name that has really kept popping up for me is Andy Pages was batting like 7, 8, and 9 last year. And I remember he was terrible at the beginning of the year. He was awful. Truly, truly bad. So I don't think it's a coincidence that, he's obviously breaking out right now. He looks like, an all-star. I won't go so far as to say MVP candidate because it's like way, way too early for that conversation. But I don't think it's a coincidence that he's doing that and the 7, 8, and 9 spots are performing as well as they are. Because while he was batting 7th last year, he was like 0 for 8 over a 2-game span, 0 for 11 in a 3-game span. So having him really kind of step up, take good at bats, take a walk here or there, not strike out as much, has really, really improved the bottom of this lineup, and it makes the top of this lineup just absolutely ridiculous. Like, having 2 guys on the corners with Shohei at the plate in less than 2 outs is just unfair. It's just unfair.